Annabelle gave me a haircut, like literally 5 minutes ago. Anyway, I'm making that mistake. When people use their phones, I'm making the mistake of not looking at the camera and looking at the bloody screen. I can't really get this car out. So the car, this is the other GTO that I've been mentioning. And yeah, we've just got the sensor. The water temperature sensor is now out the car. But I'm surrounded by tires everywhere. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna get myself out. I just thought I would record this little clip so that there is another car. And on to the next thing. Hopefully this sensor sorts it out. Annabelle's giving me a hand today. Notice how she turns away from the bloody camera every time. Yeah, so the history of this car, it's not running right. I'm gonna try and change the water temp sensor, this little guy. And then we're gonna probably see if it drives, because I haven't tested it since I did the gap in on the spark plugs. Okay, so I'm replacing the sensor which is there where my finger is. I don't know if you, I'm going to zoom that in a little bit. Where my finger is, that there. I've got to take the upper rad, back. I've got to take the upper rad hose off because I literally couldn't get there because of all these bloody wires I couldn't get my hand in. So this is the moment of truth. I've connected all the upper rad hose up, overflow pipe, that's been connected back up. I've put some more water back in it. I'm just using water for now, just until we get this car, we know that it's running properly. The moment of truth. I'm going to start it up, keep an eye on the water levels, and then top it up as and if needed. Replace the radiator cap, and I'm going to let it sit and idle, just and see if it changes any. This car always idles fine when you first start from cold, but it's after about 5 minutes, that's when things start to change. So I'm hoping that the sensor will change things. That's higher than it's ever been. That's what the car does all the time. I've changed with the, I've been tampering on with the idle control valve. I've also double checked that the main harness that goes to the harness that goes to the ECU sensor that I've just changed, that's definitely getting a feed. But it does that. I've tried to unplug the idle control valve. It doesn't make a throttle body doesn't make a difference. Please be nice to me if I've done anything wrong. That's the one. Yep. Right. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm just going to take it across the road and see what it does. Because it is idling a little bit better than what it was. I've got to get used to the clutch. This clutch is hard. And I'm doing a hill start.
Just fucking thingy it.
Yeah. Better than what it did the other day.
Is everything looking alright? What the fuck was that?
That's
something on the road. Go back, are you going to just do it again?
It's feeling better. It is feeling better than what it did the last time I had this out. It's not spluttering. It isn't spluttering, but it is seeming to want to lean out when I very first put my foot down. The other thing I've noticed is it seems lazy. It doesn't want to boost. When the boost comes on, it doesn't seem to just take off like it used to. It is going and it's not spluttering. That's the important thing. And the other thing is, it's not just dying, because the last time I did this and I put my foot down after a boost, the car would not idle, and I'm now idling smooth. Look at the RPMs. I'm now idling smooth.
It sounds overall all right, doesn't it?
It is. We are going in the right direction, but I just need to get to why it's not boosting properly. It's more so making a whistle noise. So I don't know if you can hear that. I'm going to stick the camera out. Maybe you can hear that. I'm going to rev it a bit. Excuse the dodgy camera. It stops when I rev. There's a whistle. If it's not a whistle, then it's a squeak. And I don't know what it is. Could that be a boost leak? Could that be one of the couplers not on properly? I don't know. But I'm going to give it a blast back and blast down there really, and a blast back. I'm going to take it home and then I will look at the boost pipes and make sure that all the boost pipes are actually connected. Vacuum hoses, the lot.
I'm just going to up there. It smells hot now, doesn't it?
It's heating up, that's why.
Oh, right, okay.
So there's a kind of a whistle going on. Genuinely don't know what that is. If you know what that is, by all means, please help. I mean, but she's idling a hell of a lot better than what she has in a while. Okay, Annabelle's going to drive it up and down, and I'm going to film from the outside. Okay.
outside, and then
Okay.
you can do the same and I'll just do it.
Right. So. God, it's good to see that car driving. I'll tell you. And it actually it sounded quite nice. It sounded quite nice. And the main thing is, it is not cutting out after it's just been driven, okay? It's not being driven full pelt. I think there's some more tweaking things to do, but I think we're going in the right direction with this car. Here she comes. How did it feel?
Good. I think when you put your foot down, it's like you put your foot flat to the floor, and it like but before you put your foot down, you can feel it like pulling in. Does that make sense? Because I'm sitting in it. You put your foot flat to the floor, and it feels a bit flat. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's driving a lot better.
It's driving better than what it did beforehand, didn't it?
You know when it used to like put your foot down and like boost it,
Right.
at first it was doing that. You want to have a go now there?
Okay. We're going to swap places. Okay, so after that little blast, she's idling, she's not cutting out, she's not spluttering when I'm trying to put my foot down, she's lazy. It doesn't, there's boost pressure there because it's stumping, but you've got to be hard on the accelerator. The revs are so sweet, they're smooth as out. The twang's coming out, smooth as out. It's really smooth, it's not jumping up and down and hunting. AFRs, that's where it's sitting at. The last time I drove this car like this, every time I try to go and boost, it would splutter its guts out and then it would not idle, and it took ages for me to crank it back into life. So we're definitely moving in the right direction, that it's now, I'm going to take one more blast, camera off, so I can concentrate on what these gauges are doing, boost pressures, and the AFR. It kind of wants to lean out. I have noticed that it wants to lean out when I very first put my foot down, but the harder I put my foot down, it seems to level itself out. Okay, she's home, but it almost sounds like a little squeak, like air is escaping somewhere. Could that be a boost leak? It sounds like it's on this side, so I'm going to double check all the hoses, vacuum lines and all that. I noticed that on that last final trip that I said I was going to do, the boost level, it didn't get any higher than 0.5 on the gauge, so it could have a boost leak. We're going to double check, but overall a job of success for now. So it's clearly very late in the afternoon. I had some food and just chilled out watching a movie. Car hasn't moved. I've let it calm down, cool down. I have had it started briefly just to try and hear where the noise is coming from. I've looked at vacuum hoses, and I've had a chat with mechanic friends, Michael, Chris in particular. Thank you very much for your help and your inputs on this, if you ever watch these videos. One thing I have noticed actually, and I'm going to have to sort this out. Can you see that line? It's obviously not done anything too serious at the moment, but in there, to try and get the camera in there is going to be another thing. But that bolt carries on, and it literally is just about touching the tyre when it turns. So I'm going to have to change the orientation of that. Listening to the sound of the car and where this whistle's coming from, because that whistle's there. It's lighter. That whistle is there even when the car is cold, and it's only started once we've driven the car. Excuse me, I'm just eating. And I'm dumbfounded. I've looked at all the vacuum hoses, and the vacuum hoses, from what I can see, are fine. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research, make sure everything's connected in the right orientation. Another slow process for me to work on and learn and investigate and research, unfortunately. Slow process, but at least we are heading in the right direction. And it was nice to see the old girl, nice to hear the old girl. Yeah, not coughing and spluttering and just bloody doing what you're supposed to be doing in a roundabout fashion. I'm going to leave the video there. I'm going to tinker on with a little bit more. If there's anything else to add, then I'll add it. After this. But that's going to be it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time. So I'm trying to change the clamp that came off there that was touching the tyre. I completely snapped the bolt. Fortunately, I've got that one sitting. Hopefully it's going to be big enough. Looks about the same size. It needs to be smaller than that. Now I know I'm going to get slated for this. It's not a proper clamp, it's just a Jubilee clamp, but it's the only thing I've got at the moment, just to hold it tight until I get a replacement. Okay? Okay, before my battery dies, I am going to end the video there. The car is back in the garage of a productive day, I think. Clamp is changed, it's on, it's holding. It's not the best clamp, but it'll do for now. I'm holding the lens protector. Anyway, yeah. So, thank you for joining me on the journey of this car. Hopefully we're going to get to the reason why that's whistling, because there's a whistle. And we'll cross the bridge when we get to it, I suppose. Thanks for joining me again. Until next time.